Perfect. And we have a decent hand. Two mana for a 3/2 flyers, like, pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Be nice to have some creatures or cards with the card text Madness. That would be a delight. Like that very much. It is actually really nice that you can flip when these are flipped. Even if they get Reflector Mage, at least you can replay them right away. Oh, double forest. Just not expecting the double forest. I think the one extra damage over time is kind of valuable. Also with a double forest, if my opponent doesn't go Canopy Vista right here, I feel like he might be in dire straits. I mean, did he use Evolving Wilds? Okay, so it is Bant. Now I feel a lot worse. Ooh, it's Olivia. Okay, so we have a few options. I think that I want to use Liliana in the Sylvan Advocate so that he can't use the Advocate to Dromoka's Command anything. If I'm only playing 3 power creatures, and he wants to Dromoka's Command something, it's going to have to be with the Thalion, and that's going to die. I think I just want to use my Mana Well and just play up both of these. Also plays around Reflector Mage a little better. Yeah, these Lilianas really are kind of stinky. I mean, I guess they put me ahead in the race a little bit, but it seems like they just like kind of do nothing and then just get attacked. My deck is so bad at blocking. Wow, that's amazing. He's going for that one. That's crazy. Oh, perfect. Another Liliana. Just what I needed. So I think what I want to do is to just... I think what I want to do is just kind of attack my opponent to death. This is a pretty serious Air Force that my opponent's got to deal with. Sally's going to do a lot of work in making it so that I can't like attack with haste, which is kind of annoying. But I mean, I could have used both Lilianas to kill the Thalia's Heretic. That would have been like another line that I could have taken. But I've got a lot of stuff in the air. My opponent's hitting me for 7 this turn. And next turn, with a land drop, he can hit me for 11. It's not really enough. Because I just want to present the other flying attacker. My opponent doesn't have a Selfless Spirit, so it's not like he's going to go Avacyn, you know, kill you or whatever. Or Avacyn, sacrifice a guy and wipe your board. So I think I'm just going to I'm just going to beat him down in the air. Which is kind of crazy. I thought this day would never come. I think I'm going to beat Bant Company. I know my opponent was bouncing my Heir of Falkenraths because if he bounced the Heir of the Night with his Reflector Mages, I would just be able to replay them. But the fact that I had to discard a card is like pretty real cost. Oh, nice. Might as well make it a bunch. Make sure nothing goes wrong. If my opponent had like 2 Jamoka's commands, I would regret not having the 3rd flying attacker. So my opponent does have 3 Jamoka's commands. That would be crazy. I mean, if Collected Company hits like a flyer and a Reflector Mage, and he has a Jamoka's command, alright, sweet, it doesn't. Phew. I would have been sad if I lost that. Okay, so I think the Fire Tempers are Dece. I think the Avacyn's Judgement is Dece. The Lilianas seem poop sauce. And I think I want the Collective Brutalities. Not really sure. You can make a solid argument for just keeping some of the Lilianas in. Actually, the Kolaghan's commands are not very, very good. Yeah, I'll just keep like 2 Liliana in. With the Collective Brutality, they're kind of nice. But Collective Brutality gets Jamoka's command and Collected Company, which are like, I think my opponent's 2 best cards for protecting himself in the matchup. And the Collective Brutality can also, it can hit Thalia, it can hit Tireless Tracker if he has it can hit Duskwatch Recruiter, Selfless Spirit. And this is certainly a keepable hand. Definitely want some more lands, though. Well, my opponent has nothing. That's good for me. Now, if my opponent doesn't have a Reflector Mage here, that would be very nice. I wouldn't even mind Thalia, because at least I can Collective Brutality it, and then discard a random card to potentially hit a Jamoka's command or Collected Company as well. The thing that's a little annoying about Collective Brutality in this matchup or this deck is it's actually like really hard for me to you know, cast it and have Madness in, like, the early part of the game. Alright, so this is obviously Spell Queller. And since I don't actually have anything that kills Spell Queller, I think I'm just gonna say go. I can kind of get around Spell Queller with the Madness. Oh, shoot. So I missed a point of damage because I could have done this before. I forgot that this was 2 mana. Tricky, tricky, tricky. I am so tricky. And what's great about this is I can and I really want to land. I was going to say what's great about this is I can just Collective Brutality here and discard a random card to get a Dromoka's Command out of his hand and push through this Oculist to maybe hit my land drop. I could also not do that. I think I do want to do it though. Without a land drop, I'm probably just not gonna like cast all my spells, you know? And I think Liliana is going to be too slow for this game. I guess there's some X ones that I wouldn't mind killing. I think the Furyblade Vampire is the least likely to be getting through on the ground. I guess I have redundant of these guys, so I'll discard the redundant thing. Wow. I got rocked. Well, this has been very poor value. And my opponent's going to have Avacyn mana. And I have no way to deal with Avacyn. Can I hit a land? Please make it worth it. Please? Yes. We did it. Alright, well. That wasn't very good, but it could have been worse. Ooh, another land. So I think I just want to play out something that's not particularly important. Do you want to spell quell this? And how about this? Falkenrath actually has the potential to like trade with a spell queller. Or Avacyn, I guess, with the Condemned. And my Furyblade Vampire can actually just attack into the Avacyn if I want. Certainly not going to block the Reflector Mage. That is faux show. An untapped land would have been really good. I think that I'm going to... I think that I'm just going to attack with everything. Just because it means I get to push a lot of damage. The fact that he has 2 Avacyns is so annoying. Because he can flash in his Queller, block something, and then when his Avacyn flips on his upkeep, he'll be able to get the other one in. . What do I do? I really need those ultimate prices. I don't really want to board him in for this matchup, though. Maybe the Grasp of Darknesses are better than Collective Brutalities. So I have a few options. I need to push some damage. But how could I ever win? I need to try to engineer some sort of scenario where I play something that he doesn't want to quell. And alright, so we are going to quell that. Really didn't think he would quell that. And now I just say go, I guess. And hope that I have a better option next turn. Opponent can hit me for 8. Now I'm just going to concede and go to the next game before I run out of clock. The second Avacyn just makes that impossible. Alright, I'm going to have one more Liliana just because I am concerned about... I guess, actually, I should just have the other 3 Collective Brutalities. So 3 Grass, 3 Collective Brutality, 0 Liliana. This is actually a really aggressive hand. I can go turn 2 Furyblade, and then discard the Bloodhall Priest. Which is like pretty nice. And then play the Heir and probably empty my hand pretty quickly. It's a pretty aggressive hand. Actually, the one thing that's a little annoying about playing the Furyblade here is it's going to be like my opponent could potentially trade with it, which not if he doesn't crack his fetch land. That's good fortune for me. This is pretty sweet. And if my opponent Reflector Mages it, it's kind of like whatever, you know? It's like if you got a Reflector Mage, bring it on. Oh, my opponent doesn't have any more land drops, does he? Oh, that's bad for him. I love getting clues. I love it when people Declaration Stone my creatures. Well, that's good. I might as well just hit him for another 4, right? Right, guys? Do you have another Declaration Stone? I feel like you really needed Collected Company there. I wonder if he could have a Negate. Negate would be decent, I guess. Well, let's start with this. And kill your guy. Going off. And if my opponent has Tragic Arrogance here, it's a nice little 2-for-1, but his board is still empty, and I just win with any burn spell. Evolving Wilds, that's not what my opponent wanted. He really needs a Collected Company here. If he had Collected Company, I assume he would have played it last turn. Oh, this is crazy. I mean, this Furyblade is probably just going to get Reflector Maged, but what if my opponent just has Spell Queller? That's like his only defense here. If my Occultist hits, oh, here we go. So my opponent can bounce and trade. Thalia would be really good. My opponent is a Thalia here. The first strike would be very relevant. That would be phenomenal. Well, this is a nice way for him to block if he wants to keep his Reflector Mage. If he has... Oh, one thing that's a little awkward, though, is two of my guys have Trample. I think my opponent's actually just dead here. No. Because he gets to bounce something, lol. And he would have been dead anyway, actually. But it would have been close. So I wish there was more I could do. I mean, I can still just draw an Avacyn's Judgement at some point and fireball him. So that's cool. Man, these two drops hit for 4 damage. It's like crazy. So hopefully my opponent doesn't have like Avacyn plus Selfless Spirit. So that would be sad times for me. He obviously has Avacyn. Do you have a sack outlet? Man, I really wish my opponent hadn't hit Reflector Mage on that Collected Company. The fact that I had 2 Tramplers made that like really scary for him. Alright, now I really need to draw an Avacyn's Judgment. Give me that fireball, come on. Getting closer. So I assume that my opponent has a Spell Queller. So actually gonna choose to do nothing. See if I can get some more burn and overload him. Burn is not very good against Dromoka's Command. It's also knowing that I can't just discard a card to this Furyblade like whenever I want. So it's something that I can do it with. So just going to counter this. Nope. So hopefully next turn I can make some sort of reasonable attack. Oh, man. I guess this is a good opportunity to try to kill that thing. Pretty sure this is just going to get spell quellered. But if my opponent just has a spell queller and he's just being super patient with it, it's not really going to matter anyway. Alright, that's all I got. Now it's going to need to be Avacyn's Judgement off the top. So this will make it a 5/5, but it's in response. So both my guys will die. Almost. Can still win with Avacyn's Judgement. Still a very healthy out. Well, it's going to be a little more difficult to cast now. So my opponent's going to hit me for 7. So I think I'm drawing dead. No! Oh, I need to be able to... I need this in play. Dude, brutal. So close. Wow, what a crazy game. Oh, man. So I think I needed to fire off the Fiery Temper there. Otherwise, my opponent just wouldn't have used the other Dromoka's command, most likely. But yeah, my opponent hit these 2 Reflector Mages like right when he needed them. Man, good game, though.